and welcome back to Libib's channel. My name is Kayla and welcome back to another Thursday video. Today's topic is going to be yesterday's Top 5 Wednesday topic, which is the top 5 books that I felt betrayed by. And this is kind of like where I feel like the author has did me so wrong when I did not deserve it at all as a reader. So I ended up finding 4 books that fell into my top 5. I couldn't really find a 5th one off the top of my head, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about 4 books and go with it. Coming in at number 4 is Vicious by Sarah Shepard. I feel like Sarah Shepard did me so wrong because I read 18 books and I got to the finale and she just did me all sorts of wrong. I was just like, why? There are 16 books in the main series and then there's like 2 little half books that take place in the series as well. So the first 8 books were wonderful, good, great. The other 8 books were just like, no. And then the last book had the least climactic ending to a series ever, and it's like, I read all these books for nothing? You did me wrong, Sarah Shepard, you did me so wrong. And I'm still salty to this day that I read all those books and then just have a kind of ending, and just salty still to this day. Coming in at number 3 is a book that I always love to talk crap about, which is not The Merciless. I'm just holding up this book because I just recently took back the second book to half price books because I needed it out of my hair and it was just a horrible book. You get a book like this where the first book is absolutely awesome, amazing, gripping, and you're just like, it's 2 a.m. and I'm scared to death, but I have to finish this book or else I'm gonna cry and all the demons are gonna get me. And so I had to like read through the first book, loved it. Then I got to the second book and I'm like, what kind of sorcery is this? Like, what is going on? What is happening? Why? Like, why? You're doing me wrong. I really felt betrayed by the second book because the author had so much more potential to go off and write this crazy story, and she did not at all, and it made me so mad. It just was like, come on, you couldn't do something a little bit better. It's just like the way the whole story, it wasn't just the end or the beginning or the middle, it was the entire thing. It just did not make sense. Our 2 main characters were just and we're getting a 3rd book and a 4th book in this now series. The 3rd book sounds a little bit interesting, and like, also, the 2nd book, the title was The Exorcism of Sophie Flores, and we got no exorcism whatsoever, and so that's what I felt betrayed by. Like, the exorcism lasted like 2 pages and it wasn't even scary at all. I thought, you know, maybe it'd be like the first book where it'd be scary and some heads would be like chopped off and some people would burn and like die and disappear, but no. I just felt betrayed by that because there was so much good going for it, and then it's just a letdown. And then the 3rd book is supposed to be about Brooklyn, which I have a very iffy feelings on. I'll probably pick it up and try to read it, but that's just because it's me and I'm like willing to give her another chance even though she did me so wrong and betrayed me so hard. Next up is a book that I also read last summer that really betrayed me with its stupidity, and that was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by Jack Thorne. That dude. This book is based on an original news story by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne, and this is a new play by Jack Thorne, and he wrote this play, which is this book. I had so many thoughts and feels once I first got done reading it. I was like, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm just like overreacting in my head, and I had to like process everything. And then once everything finally processed, I was like, holy shit, this is a horrible book. Like, it was an awesome play because I blew through it in one day. I sat down, read it from start to finish, and I was like, heck yeah, 4 hours and I finished this book. Yeah, felt so accomplished. But then like when I went back and like looked on it, I thought the first half was just like, okay, and then like the second half was absolute dumpster trash. It was horrible. It was just, I was like, okay dude, not only did you betray me, but you betrayed J.K. Rowling, the queen of literature. You just did that. I hope you realize that. And the second half of the book was just like, I was sitting there reading it like, what am I reading? What is going on? The second half of the book, I've read a fan fiction of it somewhere on the internet back when I was like 10, when I was on Wattpad. I'm not 110% sure on it, but I'm pretty sure. And this play was just, it did me so wrong and betrayed me so hard and betrayed J.K. Rowling and the rest of the readers so hard, and I just, betrayal. And my number 1 book that I felt that has caused the most betrayal ever, and that is Allegiant by Veronica Roth, which I love Veronica Roth, but this book hit me so hard. Even though I've cried for like a day straight when I finished this book, I came to the realization I was like crying so hard because I was like, Veronica Roth can't do that. She just didn't do that, and spoilers. So beat up a little head if you haven't read this book already. I'm like, you can't kill off the main character, homie G. It's just, who does that? No author does that. The main character always makes it to the end, silly. You can't do that. And so I felt betrayed by this ending. I was mad at this book for the longest time. Do I want to reread this trilogy? Yes, I do, because you know what? I understand Veronica Roth is the author and she can do whatever she wants to. It is her story. It is her writing. She can write whatever the heck she wants to, but definitely felt betrayed and hit the hardest by this book. The only book that I ever really cried hard at was the 7th Harry Potter book, Deathly Hallows, and then this was number 2, and this really hit me, really betrayed me really hard, but it is what it is. Anyways, that is it for this week's video. What books do you think you've been betrayed most by? Don't forget to leave a comment in the box below, and anyways, that is it for this week's video, and I will see you guys next time with a new bookish video.